I came into writing from the performing side. Like my training was in musical theater performance, but my mother always said I was a writer. I've always written without knowing I was a writer. I've just always written things. And like it was just part of the joy, but I didn't understand that no, 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 your performing career is leading you to a greater love. So it's important to be able to have the pressure of presenting to the public, as scary as that can be, to put your work out there. And we have been searching for the right collaboration, for this, and it's just perfect. Like Shelley Butler was our associate director for Beautiful on Broadway for years when I was there. Like she is iconic and legendary in my brain, and to know what she and Wes have built is, I'm just so proud to be a part of it. Like, honestly, I didn't understand like how big the festival had gotten until I announced, and like everybody was like, "Oh my God, you got South Carolina New Play Festival!" And I was like, yes, I did. So many people like responded to it, and I was like, "Oh wow, there's going to be a lot of eyes on here. It's not just an invited room of our friends anymore. Like, no, 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 there are eyes, and look who else is coming." And like really learning the history of the festival and digging into the placement, like it really, like the sweat started happening for me. I was like, "Whoa, okay." Like, oh my gosh, of course Broadway World's announcing, and here it is on Playbill. I'm like, but it's great. It's great. I'm super, super excited and thrilled to have this chance. Like it just is going to be brilliant. It's an adaptation of a young adult novel written by Jason Reynolds. So it's about a little 8-year-old boy who is developing anxiety issues because his parents are going through a separation. So this little 8-year-old boy who's into superheroes and his best friend decide their way to figure out how to keep his family together is to create a superhero that will save his family and keep them together. And so of course with every superhero story there's a little villain, and it comes in the form of his one of his neighbors, like that he has just moved into the building, whose parents have recently divorced also. So that's what our show is. It's this little look into this kid's life as he navigates this giant change and learns that that is the source of his anxiety. Have been working with a educational program in North Carolina, and one of the things was I was going to teach them something from one of the shows I wrote. And I said, I have Polkadots, which is about, this little girl who has polka dots who moves to a town with square people. And I have a show about a brand new show no one's seen about a little boy dealing with anxiety. And I heard 5 children gasp, like five, like audible. And I said, well, there it is. But let's work on this. This experience for us was so unique because it was an adaptation. So, on one hand, the best part was I don't have to figure out the story, it's already done. The second, but the pressure of protect this man's story, like, oh, don't don't mess up the book. Like everyone, so many kids love this book so much. It has, fans all over. You don't want to disappoint the fans, while also wanting to make sure that it's a Tunstall and Borowsky show. Like it has to be uniquely our style of storytelling, while staying true to the source material. Um, while being given five actors. Like, of a story about a kid who lives in a 50-story high rise that has, encounters characters every single day, new characters every other page on the book. Like, so this development process came with its perks, its pros and its cons. The most important thing happens, which is the songwriting with my writing partner, Greg Borowsky. And the biggest challenge with that was Greg was in London on the West End premiering his Nelson Mandela musical. So he was a little busy. So he said, "No, this is what I think I'd love for us to do. Here's my trunk folder." And he sent me a folder of all the, I mean, he's a Grammy nominated producer. Like, he is just a little super person. Here's the folder of all the things I've beats and sounds I produced that have not been fully developed. Um, there were, I think, 9 songs in the folder that he gave me, uh, and I used all 9 of them. It was the strangest, like, I couldn't believe how they all worked. But I think what I learned, again, this was a brand new writing process, was having being boxed in really, really worked, because I was like, well, just like the writing, this is the story. We know that these things have to happen. I would write up to a song and then be like, well, if this is the music that starts playing, what do you sing? So I wrote wrote lyrics over this music, and the song, it took a while to find out which song was the right moment. We've never worked that way before, but it oddly worked. And because it's, Greg produced all of the tracks, it was cohesive because it's his ear and it's his sound. So I don't know, it is our boppiest score we've ever written. I think the score is so surprising. For a piece that's intended for theater for young audiences, like, it's so contemporary and fun and, like, and surprising. It surprised me for sure.